Hey sportsmen, John Bergsman here from DNR Sports Center in Kalamazoo. We're live on site. We've got a great fishing report for you. I'm back from Florida. Sorry to say, I had to go sit in the sun. I was freezing my butt off. Some awesome reports. We're going to go way up into the UP. We're going to talk about Curtis and Newberry. We're going to talk about Lake Gogebic. We're going to talk about St. Ignace, Mackinaw City, and we've got a little warning report, but then we're going to end up the day over in Mullett Lake on up in the Cheboygan region. They've got some awesome walleye fishing going on. We're going to talk just a little bit about late season safety. Stay tuned. Some awesome reports right here from DNR Sports Center in Kalamazoo. So hey, first report of the day, we're up in the Curtis Newberry area, and we got actually a report for both regions. So now Curtis, we're talking about Big and South Manistique Lake. If you're up there, South Manistique Lake right now has got a really good mixed bag fishery going on with pike, walleye, and panfish. Now the pike and walleye are coming on tip-ups. They're in a little bit deeper water now. They're off of the main lake structure, points, inside turns, and they're about, 2 foot off bottom is what you're gonna set your tip-ups. And I'd say 15 to 25 feet of water, that deeper water off of the main spots that you would normally fish, structure fish, those fish are holding out there. Now, pan fishing has also been going really good, and that's been just the traditional waxies and teardrops and things like that. Also, there is some crappie fishing going on, and the crappie fishing has been with bobbers and minnows in the mid depth. So if you're in 20 feet of water, you're going to be about 10 foot down. So that's been the bite right there. Now, if you go to Big Manistique Lake, the bigger lake, that's been a walleye perch bite. Now, this is traditionally a really good bite for March, and that's why we're talking about it here the last week of February, because the bite in March on Big Manistique Lake is traditionally the best. I've seen some really good pictures. You might see them going across your screen of some really nice perch catches. That's a friend of mine, lives in Germfask on the east side, on the west side of the lake. He's been doing really well on the soft bottom areas for good bags of mixed, mixed size perch, 8 to 12 inches. So perch on the big lake and walleye. Walleye will come on the north shore here in about a week or two on the harder bottoms, and then a mixed bag on South Lake. So hey, get up to Curtis. Now we're gonna slide up the road to Newberry, Michigan. And Newberry, Michigan, really good friend of the show, Matt Titus, took his whole gang, basically relation fishing, if you will, a whole bunch of cousins and the kids went up north of Newberry to Paradise, the Paradise area, and they're fishing inland lakes. And what they were trying to do is do a mixed bag of setting a bunch of tip-ups for pike and then get walleye. Well, guess what? The pike fishing was so silly, as you can see by the pictures going over your screen, that they never ever got to the walleye. I mean, they were chasing flags, Matt said, all day so fast that they could really do nothing about it. They never even got a jigging rod down, so we don't know anything about the walleye fishing up there in that greater Paradise, north of Newberry area. But I'll tell you what, you can see by the size of those pike, the inland lakes north of Newberry are fertile and they are filled with really nice pike. So get up there to that Curtis Newberry area, experience some great late season fishing. That bite usually goes the whole month of March. That's the cool thing about this section of the UP. They've usually got feet of ice, and that's the case this year. So they're gonna have safe ice for a good month or so. So that's the report for the greater Curtis area and including Newberry for this week. So hey guys, this Saturday, as you're watching this Saturday, I'm going to be up at Lakeside Marine and Power Sports in Mecosta. Now, I'll be doing a talk about late ice fishing as well as early trolling on Lake Erie and Saginaw Bay, and just basically Great Lakes early trolling, how to get started at it, what are the best baits, what are the best speeds, blah, blah, blah. So Mecosta, Lakeside Power Sports in Mecosta, and I'm going to be there talking at 10 and again at 2. I'll probably get there at 9:30 and stay till 3:30ish sometime in there. And then in between seminars, I'm more than happy to rub shoulders with people and talk to you about fishing. They've got a great promotion going on there as well. If you come down to the store, all the people that come down between now and April 10 are going to get registered to get 2 free boats. That's right, they're going to be giving away 2 different boats to people who just come in and browse through the showroom, get your price on the best boat, make your best deal. You know what, if you win the other one, I guess you got 2 boats. That's kind of the way it works. But get up to Lakeside Marine and Power Sports this Saturday. I'll be there speaking from 10 and 2. We'll see you there. So hey, Lake Gogebic, we've got some awesome fishing going on Lake Gogebic, and we've got a little regulation note too as well with this report, because there's been a little bit of confusion on social media when you see all the pictures, and you'll see some pictures right now going across your screen of some gigantic perch that the boys are catching up there on Lake Gogebic. And Tim from the Timbers Resort right there in Berglund has a bait shop right there with all the live bait and everything you'll need. He tells me, John, make sure you let people know about the Lake Gogebic special regs on perch. So here it is. On Lake Gogebic, you can keep 25 perch, but here's the catch. If 5 of those fish touch or are over 12 inches, then you're done with the big fish slot of the day. So what it is it's basically 5 fish that are 12 inches or larger, and then your other 20 on your catch has to be below 12 inches. And that's really super important. We don't want people traveling up there not knowing that special lake regulation and then just finding themselves getting a great big ticket from the DNR for it. But otherwise, you know, that's a good thing to be talking to you about that, because what we're really telling you is there's some awesome big fish being caught on perch, on the perch side of things. We encourage catch and release on everything, of course, beyond your 5. And if you're going to have a mounter, let me tell you what, Gogebic is kicking out mounting level fish right now. Now that you know the regulations, some awesome sized perch that are coming in right now on Gogebic. And how are the guys catching them? This is one of the big questions that we get all the time. John, I see all your pictures on Gogebic. How are they doing this? Right now they're on basin fishing. So they're deep water fishing over the soft bottom. They're setting tip ups basically 6 inches to a foot off the bottom, trying to get really tight to the bottom for those big cruising perch. You know, you get too far off the bottom on Gogebic with that colored water, and the fish basically lose their ability to locate your bait. And that's really the key when you're tip up fishing on Gogebic. So call Tim or any one of the other local guides and one of the other local resorts there in the area. Many of them are open all winter long, and get up to Lake Gogebic for some awesome Western Upper Peninsula fishing.
White River Tackle's Perch Pounder is the finest 2-hook perch rig in the industry. Its unique fish skin technology, coupled with a soft glow bead, make the Perch Pounder irresistible to fish. Available in a variety of fish-catching colors, simply tip each hook with your favorite live bait and let the fun begin. So whether it's perch, crappie, or bluegill, ask for White River's Perch Pounder by name.
Hey, let's jump up to St. Ignace and Mackinaw City. And this sounds crazy at this time of year, but we have got great jigging for ice lake trout going on both sides of the bridge. Now, if you're in Mack City, you're going to want to set up, there's the locals, or if you're not a local, there's an island that runs parallel to the shoreline from Mackinaw City south towards Cheboygan. That's Boblo Island. There's a channel that's created there that offers some really good hard ice this time of year and pretty good safety because it's sheltered from the main flow. That whole shoreline, 40 to 50 feet of water, has been really, really good for he needs minnows, for lake trout. So what we want to do is get Swedish pimples 10 feet or so off the bottom, and you're going to work them. You don't even really need to tip them. If you tip them with something like a minnow head, fine. But really, a little hunk of white grub or just ripping them clean is also really been effective. So Mackinaw City, from Mack City down south towards Cheboygan, in between Shoreline and Boblo in 40 to 50 feet of water right now going on. Now let's jump across the bridge to St. Ignace. If you're looking to get up there and you're on the UP side, or if you're looking to take a really fun trip, the town of St. Ignace is a kicking place in the middle of the winter. This is really happening. It doesn't shut down. It keeps going. You've got lots of great activities, and ice jigging for lake trout is one of those activities. Now, right now, the bite seems to be from the Coast Guard station to the west, and that's got good safe ice right now, and there's lots of fish being caught. Now, this bite typically starts in late February like this and goes into about the middle of March, and then the ice seems to always break up by that time of year. So that's why we're talking about it late in the season like this. So get up to St. Ignace, same presentation as Mack City. You're going to have Swedish pimples. You're going to be working them 10 to 15 feet off the bottom. Don't be afraid also though, after you rip them a few times, to go ahead and let that thing drop all the way and crash to the bottom, and then reel it up real continuous and slow. A lot of times that drop hit, reel up action will cause lake trout that are a farther distance away to come in. They're really curious fish. They'll come in, they'll look at what caused the commotion, and I'm telling you what, be ready, because when they decide to hit, they come out of nowhere and rocket into your bait, and you can be jigging 1 second, and the next second your drag can be going the other way in 20 miles an hour. So Mack City, St. Ignace right now, if the weather holds, all the way until the first or second week of March. So hey, we're back after a crazy rush here at DNR Sports. Hey, let's take a minute and tell you, this place is busy right now. The gun department's stupid. They're filled up with all the soft plastics, and I've talked about this earlier. If you're gonna do a soft plastics buy, right now is the time to do it, because if you wait until the rush that happens in late April and May, you could see shelves that are fully picked over, and there still is supply line issues for a lot of the bait companies. So get here to DNR early, get your stuff bought. And also when it comes to boats, we've got the same issue going on. We've got all kinds of companies that are sold out of their lines already, meaning that although the dealers still have boats, when it comes to reordering new boats, it's going to be tough to get a lot of new product past June. So get down here, see Miles, see one of the sales staff, talk to Randy, whoever, but get your name and get your deposit down on your new boat this year, so that when it comes to the summer season, you're open, ready, and able to fish for all the great stuff happening here in Michigan. Hey, let's get back to the reports. So hey, we're going to jump back across the bridge now. We're going to go to Mullett Lake over in the Cheboygan area, and Mullet's been kicking out some really nice walleye. I know it's been a little bit tough on Bert right now. I've heard comments like it's the Dead Sea, which is absolutely not the truth. But Mullet on the north end has been very consistent. Now, a lot of fish coming on the deep break edges with tip-ups, certainly not only all day, but you know, a lot more so in the low light conditions for sure. But guys who have been working the deep edges and inside turns have been able to coax fish out during the day as well. Cody, my buddy from up there, put 15 legals on the ice in a 2-day trip over there. That's an awesome, awesome trip on Mullett Lake. And so what he's doing, it's really simple. He's doing tip-ups. He's doing those tip-ups about 10 feet off the bottom with big blues, and he's letting them run free. So a big old split shot, you know, maybe 2 or 3 feet above the blue, set that whole rig about 10 feet off the bottom, and it seems like that's been the real ticket. So Mullett Lake, you know, this time of year, you know, it's still solid, it's still safe, but hey, I tell you what, get up there in the next week or two, because with warming temperatures, the ice isn't going to stay forever.
Midwest Steel Carports is Michigan's premier steel building manufacturer. We manufacture and install custom steel buildings throughout Michigan. Our engineer-certified steel buildings are fully tailored to fit your every need, and our up to 40-year warranty protects your investment. From residential storage sheds to commercial warehouses, let our team work with you to find your ideal building. For more information and pricing, visit MidwestSteelCarports.com.
So hey, the next report, our last report of the day, is from Paul and Kurt Antonovich. Now these are guys who are locals to the greater Kalamazoo area, and I thought it was fitting, seeing as we're standing here in DNR trying to get a fishing report done while they process half of Kalamazoo through us in front of our cameras. We thought we'd get a nice report in, and Paul and Kurt have provided some really detailed written reports. Now those written reports are available if all you have to do is go to fishermansdigest.com and touch the fishing report area, go to Southwest Michigan, Southwest Lower Peninsula, touch those report. And for the next 2 weeks, Paul and Kurt are going to kind of expose how they've been catching all these fish that you're seeing going across the screen right now. I mean, because they have just been whacking them. One of the keys, though, let me tell you, and you'll see it in the write-up, is the key is behind us right now. We've got some really nice Garmin electronics. Well, one of the keys for them is their live scope ice package that shows them the moving fish in the weeds. And Paul told me that that's one of the biggest assets that they put on the ice other than fish. And that is they can put their electronics down, they can actually read a weed bed and watch for activity. If there's no activity, they can just keep going hole to hole until that live scope gives them the physical activity that they're looking for, and then they drop right in and catch all those fish. So the guys who are looking for new electronics, I don't know what the stock is at this time of year here at DNR, but normally in the fall, DNR's got a great selection of these live scope ice bundles, and that's exactly what you're looking for to really help put a lot more fish on the ice. So they're fishing for a lot of panfish, as you can see, and if you touch that link on our fishing reports to Southwest Michigan, you can read the detailed report of exactly how Paul and Kurt and their buddies are putting these fish on the ice. So get down here to Southwest Michigan. The good thing about being in southern Michigan, we've got a ton of ice right now, and I think this is going to hold until middle of March for sure, even with warming temperatures. Hey, so wasn't that awesome? We still got a lot of great fishing going on right now in Michigan. The UP is rocking, northern Michigan is rocking. And just as a quick close, I want to throw a little caution out there. You know, you're going to see some fish rolling across the screen from Crystal Lake and from Saginaw Bay and also from Lake Erie in Ohio. And as you see these fish going across the screen, know this, that although the internet is telling you that there's great fish being caught up on, let's say, Crystal Lake in Benzie County, you've really got to be aware that at this time of the year with warming temperatures, Crystal and Saginaw and Lake Erie can become very treacherous very quickly. So know what you're doing, know where you're going. Don't just grab your quad or four-wheeler and bust out onto the ice that was safe last week because you might find yourself on the bottom. That just happens on those Great Lakes bodies of water and those big unstable bodies of water like Crystal. Will it be safe this weekend? Most likely. But after that, I'd be extremely aware that these bodies of water deteriorate quickly. Hey, thanks for joining us on the Fisherman's Digest Video Fishing Report. We'll see you next week.